Every winter, just outside of Quebec City, a hotel is built entirely out of snow and ice. Rooms, beds, chandeliers, a bar, even a chapel. And then, 3 months later, it melts. Not metaphorically, literally melts. Now, if you're thinking, that sounds like the worst possible real estate investment, you're not alone. Hotels is supposed to be permanent assets, concrete, steel, 30-year mortgages, long term depreciation schedules. This one disappears on purpose. So the real question is, how do you build a profitable business on something designed to self destruct? Imagine you're in a venture capital office in the year 2000 and you're working with this pitch. I want to build a 30-room hotel. It will cost about $1 million to build each year. It would open for only 3 months, January through March. Then it disappears. And next year, we do it all over again. Same $1 million, same 3 months, forever. You'll be laughed out of the room, right? By every traditional business metric, return on investment, cost amortization, operating days per year, this should fail. Yet, Hôtel de Glace has operated successfully since 2001. They're profitable. The globalized hotel industry generates millions of dollars annually. A crucial point here is in understanding how luxury goods actually work. Think about a Hermes Birkin bag. Costs maybe $1,500 to make. Sells for $15,000 to $30,000. Some rare ones even go up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why? Artificial scarcity. Or Supreme clothing drops. Basic goodies that cost maybe $30 to produce sell for $200. Sometimes they resell for like $500. Why? Limited availability. Or concert tickets. Why do people pay up to 1K to see Taylor Swift when they could watch the same show on YouTube later? Because it's happening now. It's time limited. You miss it and it's gone forever. Ice Hotels discovered the formula of luxury brand spend. Genuine scarcity. See, most hotels are available 365 days a year. Book anytime. But Ice Hotels can't do that. They're only here for about 3 months. And that limitation, that's not a weakness. That's their entire business model. If you multiply the number of rooms that Hôtel de Glace has, which is 30 rooms, by the number of days they operate every year, around 70 days, there are only 2,100 options available at Hôtel de Glace for the entire year for this specific experience. Compare that to any other large chain hotel that has lots of room available every single day of the year. When something is genuinely scarce, basic economics takes over. Limited supply with consistent demand means prices rise, and people pay. Alright, let's get one thing straight. Hôtel de Glace is not in the business of selling sleep. If you just wanted 8 hours of unconsciousness, there are warmer, cheaper, and more comfortable options nearby. I mean, right next door is Vacati Hotel, which is a regular hotel with, it's an actual mattress. What they're selling is something else entirely. They're selling a story, a brag, a once in a lifetime opportunity, proof that you did something slightly unhinged. This is the experience economy in action. People don't pay a premium because it's practical. They pay because it's rare and temporary. And here's the genius part. The hotel only operates from early January to March. That's it. No shoulder season. No, maybe I'll go in the fall. No procrastinating. If you don't go this winter, you wait a full year. Scarcity usually happens because of failure, limited supply, or production issues, or logistics problem. Here, the scarcity is engineered. That's the whole point. And it does two really important things. One, it increases urgency, And two, it reduces price sensitivity. When something is permanently available, we hesitate. I can go anytime, maybe next month. Maybe the price will drop later in the year. For something that disappears, we have a decision to make. You book now or you wait 12 months. That's behavioral economics. The fear of missing out is a real economic force. Hotel de Glace scarcity is real. When it says sold out, the hotel is actually full. When it says last chance closes March 23rd, that's not marketing. The hotel will literally melt after. This makes the urgency more powerful. Customers know that they cannot game the system. They can't wait for a sale. They can't check back later in June. It's literally now or until next year. Let's talk about something that didn't exist when this hotel opened in 2001, but is now very crucial to the business model. Instagram. Research shows that millennials and Gen Z would pay more for accommodations that photograph well. They're literally factoring Instagrammability into their booking decisions. And think about it. A standard hotel room photographs like a standard hotel room. Even luxury hotels often look quite similar in photos. But a nice hotel, every single angle is unique. The sculptures, the lighting, the architectural details. You literally cannot take this photo anywhere else on Earth, except maybe at another ice hotel. Look at this. This is a chandelier made entirely of ice. This ceiling has hand-carved details. The bedside table is ice. Every room has a different theme. Hotel de Glace has built-in marketing that they don't even need to pay for. Every single guest becomes a content creator. They're paying about $400 to $1,000 to sleep here, and then they're advertising the hotel for free on social media. When I checked, the Hotel de Glace hashtag on Instagram has over 20,000 posts, which is exceptionally high for hospitality content. This is the experience economy's secret weapon. When the product is the content, customers will do your marketing for you. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Why on earth are they able to charge premium rates? Standard ice rooms here go for around $479 per night. It costs even more on weekends. The team suites and premium suites cost way more. You're not paying for square footage or tread count or amenities. You're paying for a story you will tell for 20 years. And there's that subtle yield management happening too. Weekends cost more than weekdays. Big winter carnival costs way more. This is the same logic the airlines use. When supply is fixed and demand spikes, prices rise. And because the experience is differentiated, they're in 10 nice hotels down the road. Your bargaining power as a buyer is low. You can't easily substitute it. You can't comparison shop in different places. You either want this or you don't. Alright, now let's get to the actual numbers. How does this business really work financially? Hotel de Glace makes money from 4 main sources: overnight room stays, day tours, like what I'm doing right now, events and weddings, food and beverage, and the ice bar. Quick disclaimer here. Hotel de Glace doesn't make its financials public, so this is based entirely on my personal research and estimates. Let's look at it one by one. The first is room revenue. Hotel de Glace has 30 rooms, at least in 2026. They are open for about 70 days per year, from early January through to mid-March. That's 30 rooms times 70 days. That's 2,100 possible room nights per season. And at about 80% occupancy, which is really good by the way, they will sell around 1,680 room nights. If we take an average price of $550, the estimated total room revenue would be $920,000 for the season. And next is day tours. Now, not everyone wants to sleep in ice, I get it. But lots of people want to see it. Honestly, I think I want to sleep here sometime. Maybe next year, if I can finally convince a friend to come with me. Just to make sure I don't freeze in the middle of the night. The data pricing is around $35 per adult. You walk through the hotel, you see the sculptures, you visit the chapel, you check out the bar. It takes a couple of hours. We can estimate that they get around 17,000 day visitors per season. 70,000 visitors times $35 equals $595,000. And this is genius because it's almost pure profit. The marginal cost of one more visitor is basically zero. You're just walking through spaces that already exist. Plus, this is also a marketing funnel for them. Many overnight visitors will probably first visit as day tourists and then book a stay for next year. Let's look at events and weddings. You can actually get married in the Heist Chapel. Wedding packages range from $4,000 to $11,000 depending on what you want. Ceremony, reception, ice bar cocktails, photography, overnight rooms. You decide. If we estimate about 20 weddings per season at an average of $8,000 each, you have $160,000. Plus, they also host corporate events, team building events, product launches, whatever. Let's say $140,000 if they have around 12 events for the season. Total events revenue would be around $300,000. And these have crazy high profit margins. You're looking at around 60 to 70% profit margin because the infrastructure already exists. You're basically just renting the space. And then there's food and beverage, the ice bar especially. The ice bar is one of the most profitable spots here. Signature cocktails and wine in carved ice glass run between $12 to $27. And about 60% of overnight guests would buy drinks. Plus maybe 30% of day tourists as well. So for ice bar revenue, they could easily do around $100,000. Then there's dinner service. The restaurant here in the Ice Hotel is open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from mid-January through to March. So that's around 30 days throughout the season. And it seats around 60 people. Dinner costs $255 per person. If we estimate that they have a 70% booking rate, that's serious revenue. That's around $460,000. So for food and beverage, they could be making up to $560,000. Let's add it all up. The rooms at $920,000, the day tours at $595,000, events at $300,000, food and beverage at $560,000. That's an estimated total revenue of $2.4 million. Again, this is all based on my research and estimates, not the hotel's actual numbers. But not bad for 3 months of operation, right? Now let's look at the costs. Every winter, they build this hotel from scratch. Construction starts around November until January. If we estimate construction costs at $500,000, operating costs for daily maintenance of the hotel at $955,000, and other additional costs like commission paid to booking platforms at $165,000, permits and inspections at $40,000, we are looking at a total cost of about $1.7 million. With total revenue of $2.4 million, we're making profit of around $740,000. That's about 30% profit margin. That is really good. Traditional hotels typically operate at around 20 to 30% margins. So this hotel is right on the high end. And for a business that literally melts every year and operates just 70 days, that's remarkable. They're not building equity in a permanent structure, yes, but they're also not servicing a 20-year mortgage. Every spring it melts, every fall they start afresh, and somehow it works. Here's where the business model gets really interesting. Hôtel de Glace doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of a larger Quebec tourism ecosystem and everyone benefits. The hotel is about 40 minutes north of old Quebec City, so it's far enough to feel remote and wilderness-like, but it's also close enough that visitors can easily experience both. I was visiting Quebec during the winter carnival and I took a tour to see the hotel, which was very straightforward. This location is strategic. They've built explicit partnership, not just with the winter carnival, but with Quebec's broader tourism infrastructure. But the relationship also extends beyond the carnival. Quebec tourism features the Ice Hotel in international marketing campaigns. The hotel appears in destination videos promoting Quebec as a winter tourism hub. So from Quebec City's perspective, the Ice Hotel attracts higher value tourists who will spend more per visit. And from the Ice Hotel's perspective, they're plugging into an existing tourism ecosystem rather than trying to create demand from scratch. Quebec's tourism multi-million-dollar marketing budget drives awareness. The region's winter sports and cultural attractions give guests reasons to extend their stay. Pure mutualism. The Ice Hotel benefits from Quebec's tourism infrastructure and destination marketing. Quebec benefits from having a world-class unique attraction that differentiates them from other winter destinations in Canada and also attracts international media attention. So the Ice Hotel isn't just benefiting from the festival and regional tourism, it's enhancing them. And when international travel media covers Quebec's winter offerings, the Ice Hotel is always featured. It's become synonymous with Quebec winter tourism, and that's a signature experience that puts Quebec on the map as a winter destination worth traveling to. So neither party pays the other directly, but the economic value exchange is enormous. The hotel gets marketing reach it may never afford independently. Quebec gets a one-of-a-kind attraction that elevates the entire destination's appeal. Classic symbiotic economics. Okay, now we've seen how it works. The economics make sense. The ecosystem is strong. They are profitable. But here's the reality. This entire business is built on ice. Literally, ice and snow. And there's some major threats that could melt everything. The most obvious threat is weather. Ice hotels can only operate within a specific temperature range. Too warm and the ice melts faster than refrigeration can compensate. Too cold, that's maybe below minus 25 degrees Celsius and nobody wants to visit. Quebec's average winter temperatures have risen about half a degree every 10 years. By 2040 or 2050, winters might be too warm for ice hotels here. One single warm season could bankrupt the entire operation, and that threat grows every year. Another threat is competition. When this hotel opened in 2001, there were about 5 ice hotels worldwide. Today, about 12 ice hotels. So the novelty is wearing off. And ice hotels are a one-and-done experience. Most guests will say once is enough. Maybe only a few will return. So you're constantly chasing new customers from a limited pool of people that are willing to sleep in ice. And when supply exceeds demand, pricing pressure begins. Margins evaporate. And finally, there's operational fragility. If November is too warm and construction delays, the hotel may not open in early January as planned, so they lose revenue. And you can't extend the season. March starts to warm up based on nature's schedule. Any major problem here means closing everything, and that will be the end of the season. It's a short 10 weeks window with little margin for error. So yes, this model is fragile. Climate change is existential. Competition is growing. One viral negative review could be devastating. But right now, it works. And that's what makes it so fascinating. At first glance, an ice hotel feels like a gimmick, like a novelty, like a tourist trap. But when you look closer, it's a masterclass in scarcity, pricing power, and experience design. You should check out my video here explaining the economics behind the Quebec Winter Carnival. Thanks, and see you soon.